We have with us in this segment Jay Cahill, who is the general partner and founder of Bluefin. And Jay, welcome.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks for having me.
And a Central Mass guy, Uxbridge, Stonehill, and what else?
Born and raised here in the Blackstone Valley.
In the Valley.
Proud of it, yeah.
And historically and to this day, a hotbed of innovation, creativity, the Industrial Revolution, the Blackstone Valley, and the field that you're involved in is maybe not the Industrial Revolution as we know it, but innovation revolution is all about your company. And maybe you could tell us a little bit about what Bluefin does.
Sure. So Bluefin Technology Partners is a technology company focused on product development. We like to think of ourselves as people who develop technology to help individuals and consumers' lives be a little bit easier. And we do that by wiring technology in a way that makes life pretty much simple and integrated into things you do every day. So our business niche specifically is in connected products or IoT products.
And IoT is a term, Internet of Things, right?
Correct, yeah. So in the world of technology, there's great ways, right? There was mainframe computing, then there was internet computing, and then mobile computing, and now the newest wave we're on is this Internet of Things, where every device is connected to the internet in a way that you can instrument and measure what's going on, whether that be your Fitbit that keeps track of your steps per day, or your different health monitoring devices to watch a newborn baby.
You can be away from with the winter season upon us. You can be somewhere with your phone and adjust your heat in your house. And
precisely, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's a pretty exciting space to be in, and the culmination of a lot of growing technologies from the internet and legacies before that.
Well, I know our viewers are chomping at the bit to kind of find out what's in front of us, but before we do that,
sure.
we want to, we had Anthony Consigli, also Blackstone Valley-based company, Milford, Massachusetts, on, construction company, but he had mentioned how, his company is very much involved in STEM and trying to get in vocational technical education as being ways to provide pipelines for their industry, future workers, career opportunities. Just, how did you get into your path?
Sure.
Uxbridge High School, at Stonehill, and how did you kind of get on this path?
Ironically, my technology path originated back to a relative that had a job at digital equipment in Marlboro at DEC sometime back, who it was one of those summers when I was a young kid and the parents just wanted to get you out of the house doing something. They sent me to computer camp for a week, and that's where I got bit by the bug, and that eventually led into a computer science degree at Stonehill, and then went on to do to work for General Dynamics in GTE, doing some pretty innovative things around technology associated with video on demand, and that just brought me from one channel to the next. And I've been fortunate enough to have been able to pursue things that have been on the cutting edge, whether that have been interactive television to doing mobile phone technology in the mid-2000s when that was just starting to evolve, and now more recently with this Internet of Things piece. But one of the things that I valued about growing up here were the options that were available to us. Being in the Blackstone Valley, I'd spent some time in my career in Boston because it was very accessible. I was involved with another startup company that we ultimately sold off to Oracle down in Providence. And now this third time after my last company was an international company based in a product based in China, I wanted to stay more rooted home. So I started looking around the Worcester community and reached out to WPI, Holy Cross, and a bunch of the universities to see what kind of critical mass we had here around tech, and was blown away with what was going on here, and kind of the impending revolution and reenactment of Worcester as a city, and said, this is where we're going to make our home.
Well, that's great, and as you mentioned, the Internet of Things, so I want to make sure we have a chance to talk about them. And so people say, what is an Internet of Thing? What do we have in front of us?
Yeah, so we got a couple of projects that we've been working on recently for customers. One, the first one I'll start with is, this was started right here in Worcester through WPI, the Technology Advisors Network. There's a gentleman by the name of Robert Bean, or Bob Bean, and his team. He's an avid musician, loves high-end guitars, but the problem he was facing with his high-end guitar is if there's dramatic changes in temperature or humidity, it would crack and destroy a potentially $5,000–6,000 guitar. So we set out to build a simple humidity tracking tool that you insert inside the guitar and then connects to your iPhone. And then on your iPhone, you can monitor the temperature changes and be alerted of that. So we helped them develop out the mobile application that interfaces into the components here. They've gone on to partner with this technology. It's embedded now in every Taylor guitar. So Taylor guitars are huge, right? Taylor Swift plays one, Dave Matthews plays one. So now their newest products include this technology inside it. And D'Addario, who's the largest music accessory company in the world, use the technology here in an aftermarket tool that you can apply to any guitar you own.
Wow, yeah.
So that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
And then
niche, right?
And a very niche, but it has a lot of potential growth markets when you get into humidors, into wine, into
and certainly anybody who has a dehumidifier in their basement understands the impact that
of what happens when you get those drastic changes. This most recent product, which is coming out this year, is linked by AKC. So we were commissioned to American Kennel Club, which is your largest dog registry in the United States, if not the world. They commissioned us to help them build a product that allowed them to connect with younger generations. So if you think of the AKC, it's the old traditional dog shows and marching the dog around the showroom floor. And they were losing traction with the younger audiences, the millennials. So they wanted to create a product that they could connect with them on. So they hired us to help develop this essentially Fitbit/GPS tracker for your dog. So it allows you to mount this to your dog and then through a cellular phone, keep track of where your dog's at, how many steps your dog's taking, how active they are when you're home. And if he breaks free from your home, you'll be notified so you can immediately go out and find him. So this product, which is commercially available now, just got selected as the 2017 Innovative Wearable of the Year, which is CES show in Las Vegas, which happens every year, and you'll see it in January, is a huge event out there where they unveil new technology products. And this beat out Samsung and Fitbit this year for the most innovative wearable. So we're pretty excited to have been a part of that. And hope that people go out there and grab one as well.
And we got a couple minutes left. So as you kind of do this work, I mean, how do people come to you ideas? Do you advertise in terms of this product development? I mean, how do you kind of make your services known out there? Yeah,
that's a good question. Largely as we started the company, it's been through word of mouth. So you get out there, and we've had relationships with through different networks, WPI being one of them, personal networks.
Which is really, they put a real primacy on commercializing the research, which the leadership of incredible stuff that goes on there, but how do you kind of commercialize it?
Yeah. So we do work with them and some of the folks that come through there. I spend a lot of time mentoring in that TAN group with some of the ideas they have and help get them off their feet with a larger group of alumni there, which is a fantastic program. And right now we're starting to get into more of a commercial marketing element of our business where we're going out there and as these products come to market, letting people know about them and letting them know about our capabilities. So it's digital marketing. We are holding inside the Worcester area IoT meetup events now. We have one coming up where folks can come and talk and see our products in action.
And we were talking before we started though, just to go back to the technology and the dog collar. I read some article about what people spend. You knew the exact number in terms of their pets.
Yeah, it's between Christmas gifts and everything else. It's an enormous market. But specifically in the wearables market, which this product fits, they're anticipating it to be a $2 billion market in the coming years.
Yeah.
So, people spend a lot of money on their dogs.
On their dogs and their animals, without a doubt. And you mentioned kind of this internet things and your career kind of having been on the cutting edge of, as we've seen, technology, phones, and where do you see it going?
Yeah, it's interesting. Ultimately, everything's going to be connected and wired. I think in the next few years, there'll be a large focus on the security of that. As you get more information and people's personal information flying around, cybersecurity is going to be a key element for this. And then the other aspect of that, which people aren't really talking about, is we're creating a lot of physical goods with limited shelf life. So the whole aspect of sustainability of these materials and recycling of these materials is a huge opportunity out there as well. You're going to have sensors potentially on street lights everywhere and parking spots and meters and like that. What happens when that reaches end of life? and how do we recycle that and sustain that? I think that's an interesting market.
Well, we're going to have you come back and talk about that at some point. Jay Cahill,
Absolutely.
thank you for being with us, and thank you for being such a great innovator and staying focused and committed to the area.